Well, let's open the 4 o'clock hour, going to the Technicom guest line, talking some football, man. It's going to be training camp before you know it. It's going to be hot. It's going to be 95 degrees plus down in Spartanburg, and I know this man is already looking forward to it. Panthers defensive end Frank Alexander. Frank, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing today?
Doing well, man. You're looking forward to that, right? You love those sweltering two-a-days down there in Spartanburg, right? Just sweating it out, 100-plus degrees.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it, man. So I set out all last year, so, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Frank, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with you for the last year or so. And I know you got an interesting story, and we were talking about it a little bit earlier. I want to get your thoughts on this. I think a lot of fans sometimes, where they hear a player got suspended for PEDs or for drug use or whatever it is, I think fans are a little callous sometimes, and they think, how could you be so stupid, or how could you be so dumb or careless to get yourself caught? But man, you're a human just like everybody else, right? Like, life happens hard.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we all human, man. We make mistakes, but the thing is, you just got to learn from that mistake and move on, You can't dwell in it, put it in the past.
Frank, that being said, and I mean, not to be too tough on you right out of the chute, but it's one thing to say, don't live in the past, I made a mistake. Last year, you followed up with another mistake. It was 4 games, then it was 10 more. How do you justify then, and did you have to sort of plead your case with the Panthers to say, hey, okay, now I've learned?
The first test was, it happened in June, so that's when the suspension when I had failed the drug test, but it didn't come out until October when I was supposed to be back after the 4-game suspension. But when it came out, it made it seem like I had just failed again right after I got reinstated. But, that wasn't the case, though. It was something that happened in the summer, So the thing is, I would want the fans to believe me and to be behind me 100%. But if not, all I could do is be behind myself, man. I'm going to go out there and prove it every day that I'm going to be all right, So if they get, if they with it, then, they're going to be with it. If they not, then I can't worry about the ones who not with me.
Do you think you've got to prove yourself to Ron Rivera all over again?
I got to prove myself even if I wasn't in this situation, man. Just because it's the NFL, man. It's somebody that's trying to get your job every day. So even if I wasn't in this situation where I was out last year, I still feel like I would have to prove myself to Coach Rivera, because, it's not guaranteed, man. It's a year-to-year thing.
Panthers defensive end Frank Alexander's with us right now on Primetime on the Technicom guest line. You got a real interesting story. I want to talk to you. Frank Alexander's on Twitter. It's at FrankAlex90. I want to kind of get in your head a little bit, like we're talking about. I think life is stressful sometimes, and it comes at us fast, and it comes at us hard, and we all deal with that in different ways. Was that kind of what was going on with you? Was maybe you just weren't dealing with the stress and the realities of life in the ways that you thought were healthy and proper at the time? What was going on there?
Man, it's just the event of things, man. But, I'd rather not get into that right now. It's just, it's in the past, and I'm just going to move forward from this, But I could say it's just the event of things that went on in my life at the time, and, I just dealt with it the way I dealt with it, And that's enough being said about that. I just dealt with it that way.
Yeah, and your mom, Juanita, she just celebrated a year of remission with breast cancer, right? You spent a lot of time at the hospitals around here recently working with cancer patients. That's important to you.
Oh, yeah, definitely important, man. Especially when it's someone that's close to you like that, like your mom. You always it hit close to home, so it hit me kind of hard. And so now I'm trying to get my foundation up and running. It's going to be called Alexander Helping Hands or whatever, So I want to just give back, and just help anywhere I can help in the breast cancer or cancer community in general, So any way I can help out, that's what I want to do.
Does that give you an appreciation just for your day-to-day life? Like just knowing, man, I'm blessed. I get to go out there and play football, and I've been given multiple opportunities, and just seeing what those people deal with day-to-day.
Man, definitely, man. And then when you see it firsthand, then you definitely appreciate what God has blessed you with. When I went to the Levine Children's Hospital, man, it was some kids, man, that couldn't even get out of bed, And so you just think about them kids that can't get out of bed, that want to get out of bed. And, you think about your situation and what you're going through, and it's like, my situation not that bad compared to this child who's 6 or 7 years old and already don't have, the chance, So it just makes you appreciate life more, man, and appreciate what you got.
How geared up are you for this season? Because I know it had to be tough last year, sitting on the sideline, seeing them maybe need a little bit more of a pass rush and knowing you could have helped. How excited are you to get going over the next couple months?
Man, I'm definitely excited, man. I get another chance to go out there and do what I love to do, and that's play football. And, I got I'm going to be out there with my teammates again, the D-line. We about to come back strong, and that's what I'm ready to get out there and see how we're going to do this year.
What's your goal? Do you think you have an opportunity to start at defensive end opposite Charles Johnson?
Yes, man. I feel like it is all on me, man. If I go out there and be consistent in my play and play with confidence, I feel like I could get that starting position. So it's all on how I do.
How's that unit coming along as you guys have gone through OTAs and mini camps and all that stuff, looking at Coney Ely now entering his second year and Wes Horton and Mario Addison? You guys got a good rotation. If you can step in beside Charles, how's that group looking?
It's definitely looking good, man. That's the thing with us. We got a lot of guys who can come in and do, keep the rotation going. It's not a slack off when one of those guys come in. So, we just pride ourselves on that, man. Just everybody being ready to play, and no matter if it's second year, third year, fourth on up, you got to be ready when your number calls. You guys seem like a couple of years ago. Frank Alexander is with us right now, by the way, on primetime on the Technicom guest line, Panthers defensive end. You guys seemed like a couple of years ago you were ready for the breakthrough. Like it looked like it was you, the 49ers, and the Seahawks. You guys look like three dominant young defenses in the NFL. Obviously, right. Things fell a little differently last year. What's it going to take to get back to that level this year? How do you get back on the same playing field and same conversation as the Seahawks as being one of the most dominant defenses in the league? Just practice, man. Work ethic and confidence. You got to be confident in this game. And all 53 players have to be on the same page. You can't have no missing links in the chain. You got one. One error could be a touchdown. One error could be a fumble or interception. So everybody just has to be on the same page, man. You just got to have that mindset, man. Just go get it. They go get it mindset. Yeah, that mindset Josh Norman's got, right? Like Josh Norman goes out there every day. He's like a bulldog out there, man. Yeah, man. Josh, like our coach, I always say, man, we hunt. So that's how you got to go out there. You hunt to eat. And, this how we make our living. So, everybody be on that same page. We're gonna do some big things. Frank Alexander's with us right now on primetime on the Technicom guest line. Panthers defensive end, and Panthers getting ready to try and be back-to-back NFC South champs. That gets you fired up, right? To be first time you're back-to-back champs. No team's ever done that in division history. You guys be three-time champs. That's got to light a fire into you guys. Man, if we could do it, it'll be special for me too, man. Because we did it back in college at Oklahoma. We won the Big 12 championship back-to-back. So. If I could get it in the NFL, that'd definitely be great. Speaking of your Sooners, how about Darrell Williams? What do you make of Darrell? Because I think Darrell's got an opportunity, if not early on in the year, throughout the year, maybe down the road, of being a pretty good right tackle in this league. What do you make of Darrell? He's a big boy. Oh, yeah. Darrell Williams definitely a good player. I played with Darrell at Oklahoma for 2 years, and, I got to watch him grow. So just seeing him coming into himself now, man, is great. And I feel like he's going to be a great player, too, because I know the background of him. He coming from Oklahoma. We work. Every day we put in the work. So, if he just keep that mindset, I know he's gonna do great too. Is there a trickle down effect to Cam Newton getting that long term deal, locking him up long term? Is there a trickle down effect for the rest of you guys on the team? What you mean by that? Just having a peace of mind of knowing that's our quarterback. The team's committed to him. He's committed to us. We're locked up, and let's move forward. Let's get this done. Oh, yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. It's a great thing. Cam's a great player, and, he deserves everything he got, from the Panthers, man. So I'm just ready to get out there and just see what he's going to do, too. Frank Alexander's with us right now on primetime talking some Panthers football. Who's a guy that you've been leaning on, whether in the organization, out of the organization? Who's a guy that you've leaned on just for some, some peace of mind, some information, just some help leading you in the right way? Who's a guy you lean on? From the Panthers locker room, man, it's a lot of the older players, from the Panthers locker room, Charles Johnson, Thomas Davis, Roman Harper, DeJuan Edwards, Colin Cole, I talk to those guys, man. You know, they keep me straight. And, you know, of course, my family, man, my pops, my dad, my mom, and my sister, man. You know, they a great support system for me. You know, and then talking with coach, my position coach, Coach Ed Washington and Sam Mills, and you know, Coach Rivera, just the whole staff, man, just been supportive and everything. You know, so I thank them for that, for being there with me, you know, and being there for me when I was going through my time, you know, time when I was down, you know.
Frank, some other guys in the NFL having some issues lately, talking about Jason Pierre-Paul, talking about C.J. Wilson, injured in the fireworks accidents over the weekend, last weekend over the 4th. How, as a player, what goes through your mind when you hear news like that? And as a player who makes a living with his body, how do you keep yourself out of situations? And do you think, okay, something bad could happen here and I could get hurt? And is it hard to do that and still be 24, 25, 26 years old and out having a good time?
Man, it's just, you know, when you hear stuff like that, man, it just makes you go like, you know, dang, you know, why did that have to happen to them guys, man, you know? But I just pray for them guys that they recover and they get back and they able to continue to play in the league in the future, you know? Because I know that's what they want to do, you know. It's just a freak accident that happened that caused it to happen, you know.
I mean, do you shoot fireworks? Do you enjoy them?
Yeah, I shot fireworks for the 4th too, you know. But it's a way you got to do it, man. Yeah. I ain't get no black cats or nothing like that. Or hold nothing in my hand like that, you know. I just got I did a couple of fireworks for my daughter, you know, my godson, and we popped a couple, and you know that was about it.
Yeah, anything that has the words reloadable mortar in it, like I'm staying away from that. I'm not lighting that one. I'm staying. That one's staying on the sidelines for me.
Yeah. I ain't getting into all that, man. I just do the basics, man. I get a couple Roman candles.
Give me a sparkler and I'm set.
Yeah, get a sparkler or whatever, you know, just something like that.
Frank Alexander, Panthers defensive end, is with us right now on Primetime on the Technicom guest line. Alexander Helping Hands Foundation he celebrates just over a year now with his mother and her remission from breast cancer. It's such a great story and something that's driving you, Frank. As a player, though, like as a defensive end, to now know that Jason Pierre-Paul, this is great dedication, by the way. This is Ronnie Lott type of stuff. To know to get back on the field, he has to cut off one of his fingers, so he gets it removed. As a defensive end, how do you play now? Because he lacks an index finger. What does that do to your game? How does that affect you?
I mean, I really can't speak on it because I don't know. I never had to play without an index finger, so I don't know what's going through his head, man. But I can tell, you know, I got one right now that kind of my pinky is kind of, you know, it was broken. And, you know, you just got to readjust to it. Man, I'm sure he'll be able to get it, though, man. You know, he's a fighter, so he'll be able to adjust to it. You know, probably just got to stay. Whatever hand is on, you probably just got to play the other side now, you know, where you got the good hand down.
Do you think you could do that? Like, seriously, like if you put yourself in his shoes and you know you're about to make a lot of money, but the only way to get on the field is literally to cut off one of your fingers. Like, you could save your finger, but you're not going to play right away, or you can surgically remove it. Would you do that? Like, that's a tough call, man.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. But I'm sure, man, he made the best decision that was, you know, that was good for Jason Pierre, you know. And so I don't know, man. I don't know what I would have done in this situation, but, you know. But, I mean, you want to make this money, you know, but you also don't want to cut off one of your fingers. So
right.
Kind of want to.
Frank, obviously everybody's worried about his well-being. Everybody's worried about his physical condition. But will guys mess with him when he goes back into the locker room?
It'll probably be a couple friendly jokes, you know, but it ain't going to be nothing serious, man, where they going too hard on. It'll be a couple friendly jokes.
But that's just the way of the locker room, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just a locker room talk, you know. Everybody, you know, it's all fun and games, man. You can't take nothing personal.
Who's the prankster in your locker room? Who's the guy that's cracking jokes on everybody and trying to prank you guys?
It was, man. D'Angelo used to be that guy.
Yeah.
D'Angelo, he gone now, so I don't know who else, man. I'm trying to see right now. I better give you an answer when we get back to Spartanburg. Right now, you know, everybody we wasn't really that long enough doing OTAs and mini camp enough to see it. But, you know, I'll give you an answer after training camp over.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you right now, training camp, watch out for Peanut. I mean, Peanut's got a history. I mean, Peanut's been in the league for a long time. He's got a history of pulling some pranks, so watch out for Peanut. And I hear that Roman Harper is a guy that might be had. Like, if you wanted to target somebody, I hear Roman Harper is a guy that might be a little gullible. I don't know if there's any truth to that now.
No, I don't know, man. I ain't never messed with Rome, man. Rome good people, man. So I ain't never pranked Rome.
Yeah, Ben Wickery's told us, Ben Ace told us the only people, like, he cracks jokes, but the only people that laugh at him are the coaches because he's so old. Is that true?
Yeah, nah.
You said yes.
Yeah. Rome Mogul, man. You know, Rome been in the league. He's been in the league a long time.
Yes, he has.
So he one of the OGs in the league, you know. So he get respect just from that, you know.
No, you don't want to go across the middle when Harp's standing there. He's waiting to deliver that shoulder. Frank Alexander, Panthers defensive end, and you got to check out Alexander Helping Hands Foundation. And congratulations to your mother fighting cancer and cancer free for a year now, breast cancer. And thanks for everything you're doing in the community, Frank. And we're rooting for you this year, man. We're excited to see this defense come together.
Oh yeah, man, I definitely appreciate that, man.
Thanks, Frank. Thanks for stopping by with us.
All right, y'all have a good one.